Diet Disruptors, Carrie here, and I am so excited because once again, I have one of our coaches with us. We have been doing a series of just getting to know the disruptive nutrition coaches, and today we have such a special coach. Beth is just amazing, was just like all of our other coaches, a client. Beth had her calorie counting notebook that she
Yep.
used to use. And I remember doing a call with Beth and she's like, it's so freeing not to have to worry about calories anymore. So Beth, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So Beth, talk to us a little bit about, what made you decide to, like, you were on this journey in this search, right? And so you kind of landed on us and how you found us, but what made you decide to say yes to working with us as a client?
Sure. So I had actually I dieted most of my early years, probably 20 years, believe it or not. And then I was a clean eater with a dieting mindset. So then I didn't even realize that. But
Let's talk about what do you mean by that? Because I think a lot of women just think they're just, I'm just eating healthy,
yep.
right? And that's what you were really working on. But when you say I was a clean eater with a dieting mindset, what does that mean?
So I ate mostly organic. I didn't eat a lot of sugar. Dark chocolate's my friend. Um, Lots of vegetables, lots of good stuff, exercised, but I also counted calories.
Mhm.
And if I was really hungry, sometimes we get hungrier. And then I ate, more food. I couldn't eat the rest of the day.
Mhm.
Or I still believed you couldn't eat before bed. Or
Mhm.
I believed, I didn't even know that my thoughts and beliefs dictate my actions. So I didn't even have that awareness.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yep.
I mean, okay. So then what were you looking for another diet when you came upon us?
So my energy was at all-time low,
Mhm.
and I,
Isn't that interesting, Beth? You were eating clean.
yeah,
You were depriving yourself.
all-time low.
You were
Absolutely.
putting in really good gas in your car, but you were only putting a very little bit in.
And my car wasn't going. So I did a cleanse, and I thought I felt worse. And I
Mm.
thought I did it wrong. So let me do it again.
Oh my gosh. How did you do it wrong? How could you have thought you
I
did it
don't know.
wrong?
I didn't get my energy. So I said, let me just do it again. And I felt even worse. I couldn't even make it past the 2 days. I was just so hungry and
Isn't that the
irritable.
definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results?
Yes, yes, absolutely. But I did. And then I came across you and Mark McDonald actually speaking about the science behind it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm missing.
Uh-huh.
And so I looked you up and looked at everything. And what got me to join was you saying, know your value. And
Mhm.
I thought,
Which is what it says right there, right?
know your value.
And
Yep.
my I love me.
Well, I didn't see I love me yet,
Yeah,
but
well, this is new. We got these are new.
we're super
Those
cute.
of you listening, I have my I love me shirt that we just got in our shop. So
Yeah, I love it. So when you said know your value, I was like, wow, I'm not. I'm taking care of everybody but me.
Mhm.
And that's what got me on because you mentioned you can we were to give up a couple things and I drink coffee. So that was kind of scary, but to
And
this
only for a very little amount of time.
for a
Just
very
to
little time,
reset.
but still it was like, but I don't even drink coffee anymore.
You don't?
Nope. I
I
don't
do.
miss it. I don't. No, I don't. And it's I know I reference you a lot for the clients, but I don't need it. Like I have good energy and
Yeah.
um
Yeah,
yeah.
well, it's so interesting because that's when you really start to look at your behaviors. Because if our bodies aren't balanced, certain behaviors are happening because our
Mhm.
body's not balanced, not necessarily because of the psychology behind it, or and we don't know the difference. Like
Yeah.
even cravings, we don't know if it's physical or emotional. We assume it's emotional, but it's really physical. And for coffee, for you, I mean, it might have been some sort of like a physical need to have it because you didn't have that energy. And now that you do, you just don't need it now, but you need it to be aware. in
Yeah.
order to
And
understand.
I thought I really enjoyed it too. So it was the experience of it as well, but my tea is just as good.
So you do that as your hot cup in the morning?
That's my hot cup. I do a detox and a green tea, and I'm good.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so you said yes, you kind of jumped in. What was one of your biggest kind of like aha moments while you were in this that I'm gonna guess probably prompted you to decide I also want to be a coach?
Well, week 2, no longer counting calories. I was done, and there was just more to it than food. There was this holistic approach.
Hmm.
Like we were looking at our mindsets, we were looking at our energy, stress, sleep, like all of those 6 plates we talk about.
Hmm.
And I was eating. I was
You were
eating
eating.
all day long, and I got to eat before bed. Like these things are so exciting when you forever tell yourself you can't do that.
Yeah, after decades.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks, you were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. My
Hmm.
brain could focus on other things. My energy soared. And I just really I wanted to tell everybody about it. So
Yep.
here I am.
I love it so much because and that's where I always say like our clients and our coaches, it's almost like they're evangelical about this because it's like, how do we
Absolutely.
not realize this? It's why I'm so passionate about it because we're
Yeah.
just doing so much damage. Your body was talking to you, Beth, with doing a cleanse and having no energy. We just don't always listen to it. A lot of women are like, I just want to lose weight. But
Yeah.
weight gain is a symptom of so many other things, and your body's telling you in many, many ways that what you're doing isn't working. And you go and I mean, you're the classic example of how we just keep doing it. Like you did a cleanse and felt like garbage and then did it again.
And I had also, hadn't done dieting in 10 years. Like I didn't do any of that, but I was like so desperate to get my energy back at
Mhm.
this point. I
But
was
you
like,
didn't diet, but you did count calories.
I did. Yeah. So dieting mindset, but not any traditional, I guess,
Mhm.
diet is what
Yep.
I'd like to say.
Yep.
And then I was like, okay, well, I have to do something. So it must be a cleanse.
Yeah. Yeah. Which at the end of the day, now, I mean, you know so much more now than you did. You know, if you could go back in time and tell your younger self one thing about what you know now that you wish you knew then, what would it be?
That I can eat, like, and have energy and, you know, um, just really look at my other behaviors, like what's
Mhm.
going on. It's not just food, but the reason why I'm so hungry is my blood sugar wasn't balanced,
Mhm.
my energy was at all-time low. So just the fact that it is possible to eat, to feel
Yes.
good, to fit in your clothes, like
Mhm.
all of this stuff, and you can still eat. So
Yes. We have this really great picture. I don't think we put it out in a little while. And it's this woman eating and it says, it's okay to eat.
yeah,
We just we don't have that mindset. I talk about your calorie counting notebook all the time, and I just love that you're free from that. So now, so you had your own transformation and knew you had to teach others. And so tell people about what you do, like in your life outside of coaching, and how this kind of all fits in.
so by trade, I'm a nurse, and I also homeschool my son.
Mhm.
So I think this all fits in with everything. Like I have patients at work that, they're frustrated. They're frustrated about certain things. And there's a lot of mindset things like, everything's figure outable. So you can teach them that.
Mhm.
And they leave, just listening to them, just knowing that a lot of our decisions, our thoughts, our behaviors come from a place of fear.
Mhm.
And so that helps with my patients. My son gets a lot of Carrie isms all the time.
Mhm.
And he knows. He's like, well, I said, he knows, where's my protein?
Mhm.
What should I have for protein today? So he's learning, which is exciting because he's an athlete himself, even at age 11.
Yep.
And so we talk about if you want to be faster on the ice or you want to be this or that, we'll just balance your blood sugar. And,
Yes.
he's learning so much. And the controlling your response, like can't always control our circumstances, but that's where your power is. So he gets a lot of you on
Oh, I love it. I
a
love it. I love it.
daily basis.
That's the whole thing. We're just all about paying it forward and really, I mean, you're changing your family tree. And I think that's so powerful. I love that you're a nurse. And one of the things I always say that our top clients are doctors, nurses, and teachers.
Mhm.
And not only it's two-sided because one, I mean, be honest, and we all know the answer to this. How much training did you get in nutrition and how to fuel your body correctly? As a medical professional, how much training did you get?
So it was one class. Yeah.
And it clearly wasn't what like if I could have 45 minutes with a group of, potential nurses, I bet you I can do a lot.
Yeah.
One class isn't, if it's not about the right things, isn't gonna matter.
No, I don't ever remember them saying balanced blood sugar. And I'll tell you a story. I remember working night shift, and only would I stop because it is such a busy career, like working in the hospital.
Mhm.
And I put a bar in my pocket, and only when I felt dizzy did I take it out to eat. Like, and
Wow.
that my blood sugar must have been, so low at that point. But that's when I would prioritize myself.
And that's hardly prioritizing yourself, right? That's just surviving.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is the longer we do that, the less and less your body's going to talk to you. So you won't even get the hunger signals and until you're like, done, in so many ways. And I think that that's what's so powerful. So I think it's so interesting that so many of our clients are doctors and nurses themselves and then teachers. But what I love about that is when a client that is a doctor, a nurse, or a teacher ends up having that transformation like you do, you all have now just this whole entire network of people that you can influence and teach because you now know something that all the people that you surround yourselves around need to know. And teachers, for example, are born, educators, and they naturally want to share this with others, with their students and with their colleagues. And so I love that you come in because you didn't know, which is a shame, but you turn that knowledge into power to be able to share with others. And that's what you did. So you went off and you got extra training and extra certification to become a coach with us at Disruptive Nutrition. So tell us some kind of some of the reasons why you love being a coach, because you are always a coach that's like, I'll take another client. I love these women. You love on them. They love you. I mean, the success rate that you have is just truly, truly incredible with every one of your clients. But try to pick a few of some of the most exciting things as to why, you love being a coach.
I remember you talked about once find things that charge you. Like I feel charged by helping them.
Mm.
Um, just hearing them go from being fearful or scared to being celebratory, right? And they realize their value. It's so exciting. Like I do. I love coaching them. And I love, even when they have struggles, we can work through anything. So um, we always say, as long as they're bowling, as long as they're, rolling that ball, we can help them. And so I just get excited. I get excited for every little thing because we meet them where they are.
Mhm.
And little by little, you just see their successes. And
Can't
that's
you just
it's exciting.
feel Beth's heart? Like Beth has such an amazing heart. Put heart in the comments if you can just totally feel it. It's her tone, it's her demeanor. I mean, she's a nurse for a reason, but she carries it on to coaching. And what I love, Beth, about you is that, Beth is so sweet and her voice is so sweet, but she will push your thinking. Talk about that, because I know some in the very beginning that's a little out of your comfort zone, but you have done a lot of work on how to coach mindsets and how to coach people's thoughts and beliefs. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that, what it's like to kind of have somebody in a way that's like, you know, needs a little Beth push. Where Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So actually, I feel like it's you might not want to ask these questions, but when you do, I feel like people want to tell you their story, like they want to open up.
Mhm.
And it might be questions they've never thought of. And it's like a light bulb moment for them. So It's actually really exciting when you see them digging in because you ask just a couple more questions
Mhm.
and they're willing to go that extra step. And then it's even more exciting when they implement what you suggest and they
And what
soar.
I love, Beth, though, you don't always like just tell people, I think you should go do this. You're so good at asking certain questions so that they start to come to the realizations.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like we all have a solution within us.
Mhm.
It's just finding those little holes, like you say, to fill in each of our lives with what works for us. So,
Exactly, exactly. And Beth works with us in a few different ways. So I always talk about how I would want people to just get on a call with us. We always say we meet people where they are. I literally always to get something different, you have to do something different. And people always assume like, okay, like a phone call with us is scary, and it's 15 minutes and there's never any pressure. We want every single woman to be able to tell their story, have a voice, and come up with the next step. It's not about working with us formally or not working with us formally. It's about having a next step. And Beth opens up her heart and calendar more than even most coaches to be able to take on kind of an initial chat with a woman to just find out where they are. And so I encourage everybody, if you have not taken advantage of doing a call with one of our coaches, do it. And it might be Beth on the other end, and you'll
I
know
love
it
to
because
talk
her
to
voice will be right there. What do you hear from women as like their number one pain point where they are, when they're just starting, when they're exploring us? Like, what do you hear the most often?
I think not being able to do what brings them joy.
Hmm.
So whether it be hiking or doing things with our kids
Hmm.
or just how they look, just not being able to feel good in their own skin. So I think it's just holding them back, which is it's just it's hard because like there is an answer, like there is a way.
Hmm.
It's just it's also scary because it's something different.
Hmm. And there's a lot of fear too, because I mean, to the point of like, you did this for decades. I did this for decades, and to invest time or even money, if people are going to do that in something that we say is the last nutritional advice they ever need, that's a lot of claim and a lot of pressure. And what if it doesn't work? But we know. We
It
know
works.
what we have in front of them. We know that we have the guardrails down on the bowling lane, like you said. And there's just so much confidence, I think, on our part when we're coaching women because we know what's waiting for them on the other end.
And it gets better with time. So I always, every time somebody celebrates, I'm like, the best news is this gets better and better and better.
It's
So
it's like what I say is like a fine wine because we all know I like my wine.
yeah.
Beth, how long ago did you start with us as a client?
So it will be 2 years in March, I
Yeah, I
believe.
thought it was 2 years, going on 2 years. Yeah.
February. Yeah.
I love that after more than 20 years of trying to find yourself in less than a year. I mean, like you said, in 2 weeks, you realized you had the answers and you needed to share it with everybody. And you have been influencing women to literally change their lives, their family tree for now almost 2 years. I'm so grateful for you and what you've agreed to commit to. I mean, you're a nurse and a full-time homeschooling mom. And so there's a reason why our coaches have not as much capacity, right? Like you guys commit every single day to your clients. And so we're careful about how many people we work with. But if you guys are lucky enough to have a Coach Beth in your life, whew, it's amazing what can be done. Beth, I love you. I'm so glad we got to do this together.
I'll just share. I love being part of your team. So you're an amazing leader. I am blessed. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. You always step up to the plate and whatever ever we need. If you guys have any questions for Beth, especially knowing her background, put them in the comments so that we can answer them for you. Beth, if you could just sort of give one of your Beth-isms, we'll say, in terms of just advice for women that are sitting there going, I just don't know, like I'm not there yet. I'm just not in a place of like feeling totally confident to jump in. What would Beth say? What question would Beth ask?
Well, I would ask, what do you have to lose? And if you don't take care of yourself, who's going to do it? If you don't find your joy. And, I think fear, we let that stop us a lot. But if you take that fear out of it and know your value, you're going to pass it on to all your loved ones. They're going to feel your joy from taking care of yourself. So I would just ask yourself, what do you have to lose? Like it really is. It's the best thing ever. So please join us.
You just show up so much better for everyone else when you show up for yourself. It's the whole oxygen mask thing we always talk about.
Absolutely.
Oh
And you
my
don't even know it. It's little by little things here, little things there. You just,
Yep.
it's all
Yep.
better.
Yep, exactly. Well, Beth, thank you so much. You are a ray of sunshine. We are so lucky to have you on our team. And like I said, if you want to even learn more about Beth, you can go into our website and learn a little bit more about her on disruptivenutrition.com. Ask her any questions and get yourself on a phone call. We'll put a link in because you never know. It might be Beth that you talk to. There's actually a very good chance that it could be Beth that you talk to. You're the best, Beth. Thank you so much. Everyone say thank you to Beth.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.